And now it's time for the Impact Wrestling Report. Here's your host, Mathew Shaffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, welcome back to another edition of the Impact Wrestling Report. I'm your host, Mathew Shaffer. Of course, you can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at Mathew_Shaffer. If you like this content and want more of One Wrestling News, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Also, you can check out Bill Apter's brand new channel, the Apter Chat, as he will be debuting September 7th with "Ooh Yeah, Hulkster, brother." And he's going to sit down with Hulk Hogan himself, so check him out. And After Chat on Facebook, YouTube, on Twitter, and of course, just, Google it. In general, of course, you're back to get your Impact Wrestling Report. So without further ado, let's not keep you in delay. Let's jump on August 2nd's Impact edition. Why don't we get down to the review? And, okay, I will at least advise that I am recording this on August 2nd. You are probably going to watch this or listen to this, depending on how you view your YouTube content, August 3rd. Without further ado, let's get into Impact Wrestling. On last week's episode, the fallout from Slammiversary took place as Eddie Edwards made his desire for the Impact World Heavyweight Championship known when he attacked Austin Aries. Taiji Ishimori defeated Petey Williams. Tessa Blanchard defeated Rebel last week. Scarlett Bordeaux made her debut. Johnny Impact made his long-awaited return, and Brian Cage was successful in defending his newly acquired X Division Championship over the former champion, Matt Sydal. Now we get a tweet about 10-15 minutes prior before Impact goes out that tonight is going to start off with a Knockouts Tag Team match. We're going to see the champion, Su Yung, teaming up with, of course, one of her undead Maid of Honor bridesmaids, taking on Allie and Kiera Hogan. This stems from last week, where Allie called out Su Yung, saying that she's not going to stand for her putting any more people into the coffins. Kiera Hogan then joined in and said that let's take her down, right? So Allie and Kiera take out all the regular undead bridesmaids before jumping into the ring to kick the match off with an attack that drives Su Yung and her undead Maid of Honor to the floor. The other bridesmaids lumber over to take position as Allie then dives onto them. It's then Su Yung and Kiera in the ring. Allie comes in to uneven up the odds, I should say, as they did a 2-on-1 attack, both attacking Su Yung back and forth, unloading on her with strong strikes. The undead bridesmaids then comes in and blindsides Kiera, turning the tide. Kiera is then in peril for a few minutes before drilling the undead Maid of Honor, with a dropkick and making the hot tag into Allie. Allie, who comes in and cleans house as well on Su Yung. Su Yung then blocks a codebreaker attempt from Allie, but then Allie hits a super kick and goes for a pinfall. She only gets a 2 count. The Maid of Honor then comes in and hits a inverted bulldog. Kiera then hits a roll of the dice. Su Yung then hits Kiera with the panic switch. She then tries to hit it on Allie, but Allie reverses, hits the code breaker, and pins Su Yung for the win. So your winners of tonight's opening match, Kiera and Allie. Now immediately after the match, though, Tessa Blanchard runs down to the ring and she attacks Allie. She then knocks her out with a hammerlock DDT. Following that, we then go to a backstage interview after the commercial break where Tessa Blanchard says that she sees what through Allie is doing. That Allie only wants that Knockouts Championship. It has nothing to do with wanting to take down Su Yung and be a defender of the Impact Knockout Division. She's not going to do the right thing or quote, do the right thing to try and get another title match. If Allie thinks that she's going to get a title shot before her, she's apparently got another thing coming. So, good opening match to get the crowd going with the Knockouts division itself. A nice continuation build. As far as who's going to get a shot at Su Young's championship. Will it be the Allie, the returning Allie itself, who did, of course, have a championship match against Su Yung and was unsuccessful? Or will it be Tessa's time to step up for a shot at the gold? We then cut to Austin Aries versus Eddie Edwards. And it looks like here the package or the picture represents that Austin Aries and Eddie Edwards are going to go for a championship match next week. So they're going one-on-one. This wasn't actually announced before the Austin Aries and what is this, Dustin Cameron match that took place later on in the evening. Santino Marella, or Anthony Cararelli's mentee. So they actually announced that Aries and Edwards will take place before tonight's match outcome even occurred. So I guess that gives you a little bit of faith, or not a lot of faith, I should say, in Cararelli's debuting trainee. I guess they didn't want to do the Santino Marella crowd from the bit there. We then go to Backstage, where we're seeing a vignette for the OGs, and they're hyping up the next match. We then get the OGs with King versus Nathan Smokes and Ray Steele. I think that's what their name was. The OGs come out with their, of course, their championship belts spray painted. If you aren't aware, they were unsuccessful in beating LAX 5150. I guess that's what their name is, at Slammiversary. However, they did spray paint and take the tag team championships hostage. This was definitely a short match, what you would consider a squash match. Hernandez started off with a pounce and sent Jay flying across the ring. I'm sorry, it sends Ray flying across the ring, then tags Homicide in to drag in Steele, and they both basically toss both opponents around. Homicide then hits him over the shoulder with the he tosses both opponents to Homicide for a double over-the-shoulder backbreaker. Homicide then quickly hits the Cop Killer, and he gets the pinfall. Your winners, the OGs. After the match, King cuts a promo about taking the titles and making them their own. He basically says that he hates to tell us that he told us so, but he told us so. He talks about taking the titles from LAX and asks where the young boys are at. Well, he actually says BITCHs. The crowd chants for LAX, and Kingston says whether anyone likes it or not, they are the kings of the street. No, they are the streets, and that LAX 5150 is dead. Of course, right on cue, LAX then makes their way down to the ring. They attack the OGs. Conan is directing traffic from the entryway. LAX then gets the advantage, knocks the OGs to the floor. Santana then attacks both of them by diving onto them from the ring to the outside. Ortiz then gets an axe, as if he's going to, decapitate Homicide with it. But security runs in and stops them. Ortiz then clears them out after getting the axe taken away, and the OGs then head for the hills. So, of course, the OGs win their match tonight against the unknown indie athletes, and we saw the further story development between OGs and LAX. Pretty scary with the axe. I thought that was interesting just to pull that out of nowhere. Let's move on to the next match of the night. Here, let me scroll down here. What do I got? Oh, that's right. So the next match of the evening was the GWN match. It was Jushin Liger versus P.D. Williams. So check that out. Check that out. They then go to a promo of OVE and Sami Callihan talking about how they're going to get their revenge tonight. I believe at this point, or at one point in the promo, they actually were making fun of Sami Callihan, and Sami Callihan was even making fun of himself for how he looks with a shaved head. So, interesting point of view to not let the shaved head consequence of his prior match with Pentagon Jr. affect his character moving forward. Just kind of lets it roll off his shoulder. We then get our next tag team match of the evening, Desi Hit Squad versus KM and Falaba. Now, my last review, I pointed out that I'm still kind of confused if I'm supposed to cheer for Desi Hit Squad, if I'm not supposed to cheer for Desi Hit Squad. Somebody commented, how do I not get it? I disagree still, based on this match alone and the following post-match fallout. Because, how this match was worked is that more like KM and Falaba, yes, were working in the babyface fashion, but they were also using heel tactics to get the win. And even afterwards, in the promo with Desi Hit Squad, they seem to get beat up by Gama Singh, so they're trying to generate empathy, I guess is the word I'm looking for there. So again, I'm still confused on whether I'm supposed to be an advocate or boo or cheer the Desi Hit Squad. So let me go over this match. Boss starts by squashing both opponents, literally by throwing himself into the corner. KM is in the corner yelling, pull his hair. Bob obliges. Always helpful to have a cheating coach, of course, in the corner. KM tags in for a double shoulder block. Bob tags in, is promptly distracted by Gama Singh, allowing Singh to clip him on his knees from behind. Singh then drops Raju on top of Bob for a 2 count, so he picks him up and throws him on him. But Bob fights his way out of the corner and makes a tag to KM. KM then plows through both members of the brigade. KM tells Ba to poke Singh's eye. He then demonstrates on Raju how to do so. Ba obliges. KM then rams both the competitors together like Three Stooges or Fred and Ethel kind of style. He then lays Singh out. Ba is distracting the referee. KM yells to Ba that this is not the time to distract the referee. So Ba stops, however, and Raju hits a flying knee to KM's jaw and covers him for a 3 count. So I guess maybe you could make the argument that yes, the Desi Hit Squad got the win, and technically they've got momentum, so they could be, seen as the babyface. But again, I don't know, the heel. Like I said, I'm still confused. I don't know. I'm not gonna go on a rant this episode on whether they're babyface or heel. I'll let you decide. You comment below and let me have it again if you don't agree. I appreciate the feedback though. I'm a very positive person. You'll get to know, so I don't take things too personally on the internet, especially when it comes to wrestling. We get so worked up about our opinions, and you're wrong and I'm right. I don't know, dude. I just like watching wrestling, and I appreciate people who are in the industry talk about it. I also appreciate people who just love wrestling and just like to talk about it themselves. So there you go, a little bit of Matt's moments. We then go to Santino Marella and Dustin Cameron. Austin Aries is of course challenging, or he's being challenged by Dustin Cameron later this evening, or I guess coming up, you'd say, here in the night for the match. That being the Impact Heavyweight Championship. They're backstage. Basically, they're just doing some warm-up moves. Marella tells him, Corelli, still can't decipher the two. I'm sorry. That he's here, it's happening, and he's got to seize his opportunity. So that's what Corelli gives some words of wise to his protege Cameron. They then cut over to Austin Aries. He basically says that he came back to Impact to actually beat up high-caliber opponents like Eli Drake, and that he's not worried about the kid tonight. We then go to another interview. So if you notice, or at least I've noticed watching Impact, that they have their interviews and segments in long blocks. So they do they'll do interview, and then they'll go back into the match. So at least they do, I do appreciate them kind of just packing it all together. And I get that they're probably also filming it at separate times versus the actual match. So that's probably why they do it. So it probably makes more sense that way. That way they can at least pick and choose, like, okay, this could be a pre-match interview or this could be a post-match interview. We then go to Johnny Impact. He's backstage with Alicia. He's basically telling her that he's not worried about Congo Kong, that he's here to prove that he's the best. He states that Kong's here to hurt people. He tried to do that to him, but he was unsuccessful. Jimmy Jacobs then comes in, and he basically tells Alicia to leave. He says that, Impact might see things a little bit more clear if he takes his glasses off. He then takes the glasses off of Johnny Impact himself, so picks his hands up, takes it off his face. Then he says he's trying to be a nice guy, but Impact drills him the hard right and tells him that he wants Congo Kong, and that he's not going to ask again. So that's how that segment ended. We then go to the, not main event of the evening, but we do go to an Impact World Heavyweight Championship match with Dustin Cameron with Anthony Corelli taking on Austin Aries. Austin Aries is basically not taking this match serious at all. He's still in his suit and tie. I guess he's wearing a polo shirt and slacks is what he's wearing. He comes out eating a banana. He actually has a mic. He says that Moose suffered a concussion during the title match and that he's out indefinitely. He basically toys with him a little bit. They let Dustin Cameron get in a couple hip tosses, but then Austin Aries ended it with a brainbuster, or at least he went for a brainbuster, pulled him up right before the first 3 count. He then went for another one, but Corelli threw the towel in. So that's how the match ended. Austin Aries is victorious. After the match, though, Austin Aries locks on the last chancery. Corelli then gets in the ring and stares down Austin Aries. Austin Aries takes off his shirt and basically challenges him. This was a little weird segment, but then Corelli kicked him in the nards, leaving Aries to scurry out of the ring. Then as he was about to get on the apron, Eddie Edwards comes out, and he gets hit with a kendo stick. Eddie Edwards then goes for a DDT on Austin Aries, but Austin Aries gets out of that and retreats. Not looking good for Austin Aries. So again, some more middle ground booking where yes, the heel is getting beat up, but he's not walking away with heel heat. He's also not walking away looking strong. So he's kind of being booked maybe as the weak, conniving champion, doing whatever he has to do to get the victory. At least that's how they're presenting him versus being a menacing, champion. I mean, granted, when he does wrestle though, I mean that's the thing is when Austin Aries wrestles, he does at least win convincingly. So it's just his character itself is very, sniveling and arrogant to the point where he just gets his behind beat. It's like that loudmouth on the playground that he gets beat up before the game, but then when he gets on the court, he whoops you. So it's like he talks his game, or he backs his game up. He talks the talk, walks the walk. We then go to another re-debut in the, I guess, she's not really debuting in the ring. It's just more, information. I guess we're learning more about her. That's Scarlett Bordeaux. She comes out. She's being interviewed by a guy named Bob Kapoor. Now, Bob Kapoor is stuttering over his words because she asks him what his name is, and he's like, Bo, 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 Bo. So they end up calling him Bobo. Basically, she ends up talking about how hot she is. She's a full 10. There's in the world full of 3s and 4s. How God made her. She's not going to be hot shamed. This is apparently giving Bobo a heart attack. She tells him he can leave. She says that she guesses the men around here aren't used to seeing women like her because the smoke show is here to make wrestling sexy again. Then tells him to hit her music and does her little stripper dance, while Don says Bobo looks like he was going to have a stroke. So more of the promotional side of Scarlett Bordeaux and her sexy female wrestling appeal for those guys who like to see that in professional wrestling. We then go to another tag match. Grado and Joe Hendry taking on Eli Drake and, well, I guess you'd say Trevor Lee or Caleb Conley. And this was actually set up in the back. Grado had gone up to Eli Drake and said he was not very happy with the gift that he received, and that tonight he wanted to fight him in a tag team match with Hendry, and says that he wouldn't be able to find a tag team partner. So Eli Drake goes to the cult of Lee, Trevor Lee, and Caleb Conley and says, one of you guys are going to be my tag team match. So before the match, both members of the cult of Lee attack Grado and Hendry. They're basically politicking to try and be Eli's partner. So first Lee's on the apron, but then Conley gets on it. They're still trying to work out, who's going to be the actual tag team partner before the match even really gets going. In the match itself, though, Eli Drake is beating down on Grado. Both members of Cult of Lee then pull Hendry off the apron on the other side. Katrina tries to distract them, gets angry, and tries to chase them away. Hendry grabs her. Grado then actually sees Hendry with his arm around Katrina, and so he gets distracted. This allows Eli Drake to hit the gravy train for the win. So Eli Drake and one of the members, or both members, Cult of Lee, win the match. After the match, Grado's upset that he lost, and of course that Katrina had her arm around Joe Hendry. I still don't really get Joe Hendry. He's a singer, comes down to the ring, he's a wrestler. Is he like Eli Drake of Impact? I'm not sure. We then get like a update on the Desi Hit Squad. This is what I was referring to earlier. Desi Hit Squad are backstage gloating over their victory for the evening, so they're going to be the champs. Gama comes in, he starts slapping them, tells them they suck. He leaves, and he comes back in and he slaps them some more. We then look back at last week at Brian Cage's match, his victory over the X Division champion Matt Sydal. Sydal recognizes Brian Cage as the undisputed champion, says that Cage has opened his third eye, and he realizes that the championship was both just materialistic, if you will, to quote him, and that there's something bigger for him. He thanks him for the opportunity to go one-on-one with him, and he's going to open his third eye and question everything even more. So, kind of, again, more of a middle ground for your wrestler. I mean, Matt Sydal never really turned full heel. He's been more of just kind of like, yo, man, I just kind of do whatever I want to do kind of attitude. So, but good to see Matt Sydal moving on. All right, we then go to the main event of the evening. Just to get, as we're getting close here to wrapping up this video, we see Jake and Dave Christ taking on Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix. They start out by doing some fast lucha moves with everyone flipping around the ring. OVE puts themselves in a bit of danger, of course, by doing a pair of stereo dives onto Pentagon and Phoenix as they're out on the outside. They end up getting laid out there, so very dangerous, very, I don't want to say reckless, because they're trained. They train themselves to do it, but it definitely, how they came down was not good. Both teams then wind up brawling all around the ringside. Pentagon and Phoenix and hit their own dives as we go to our last commercial break. We come back and Dave Chris is in trouble. He takes a series of double team moves for Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix. They then drag Jake back in and do the same to him. They go for a spike package pile driver, but Sami Callihan jumps up on the apron and stops Phoenix from jumping. This allows Jake to get free and take out Pentagon. Then he and Dave hit both a couple pair of big boots onto Phoenix. With Phoenix in trouble, OV is then attempting to try and unmask him. Both Pentagon is now in the ring with Phoenix. They attack him. And then this was interesting. They tied both Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix's masks together. They then unloaded with some super kicks. The ref is actually able to finally stop this and separate this debauchery as they're beating down both members of the Lucha Brothers. Chris then hit a spike pile driver onto Phoenix for a 2 count. Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix make a comeback and hit a double stomp package pile driver combo on Dave, but Jake ends up breaking up the cover at a close 2 count. Pentagon reverses a tombstone attempt and hangs Jake out on the top rope, where Phoenix nails him with the top rope's double stomp. They then hit another double stomp package pile driver combo on Dave. Phoenix then takes Jake and Sami out with a dive to the outside, and Pentagon Jr. covers Dave for the win. Your winners, Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix, and that is how we end Impact Wrestling. Impact, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this Impact Wrestling report here, August 2nd, 2018. You might be watching this August 3rd, 2018, right here on One Wrestling. Of course, if you'd like more One Wrestling news, reviews, and content, you can check out Michael Jargo's This is NXT review and the Raw and SmackDown review with Big Ray and Rick Vickery that we found out this week will be returning next week. However, if you are a member of the Humming Media Group, you can check out the 10 to 15 minute Raw video that Big Ray gives. So head on over to our Humming Media Facebook discussion group. Join the conversation there. You can also check out me on the Twitter as I manage the Humming Media Group. You can also check out hackerhumming.podbean.com to hear Big Ray and Bin Hameen's Impact reactions this evening on the Impact Attack. Big Ray makes his long-awaited audio re-debut. His return from Miami, from vacation. Big Ray, welcome back. And of course, don't forget to check out Bill After's new podcast, The After Chat, YouTube channel After Chat, on Facebook After Chat. Of course, you can follow him at After One Wrestling. You can follow us at One Wrestling on Twitter. Of course, hit that like and subscribe button. My name is Mathew Shaffer, at Mathew_Shaffer on the Twitter and the Instagram. Don't you dare go too far. We'll see you next week. Join us each and every week, of course, on the IWR.